is not a publicity stunt or the work of religious fanatics. We do not teach religion. We simply bring you the whole truth of God Yahweh as promised in St. John chapter 16 verse 13, which says, "Howbeit when he the Spirit of truth is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come." The point I wish to emphasize here is,
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. All praise be to the Most High God, Yahweh. All praise to His Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh, Prince of Peace. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath. Welcome to another Sabbath day's rest. Today we're going to be talking about a real good topic. You know, we're going to be going over how we've been ruled over in these last days, and how we've been ruled over all throughout history by these principalities and powers and wickedness and dark places. You know, we're going to try to see if we could discover, get a little more understanding on what these principalities are, what these high places are. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. And we're going to take our time and go on through this. So we ain't no need to be in no rush. We're going to be flipping a lot of pages. So sit back and let's ride. Let Yahweh drive. We're going to be opening up in the book of Ephesians chapter 6. We're going to start from verse 10. We're going to be starting from verse 10. Like I say, my father say, "Blessed is the man that see the things that we see and hear the things that we hear." He said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." So in these last days, He are blessing our ears to hear His word and blessing our eyes to see these things that are taking place. Chapter 10, Ephesians, it says, chapter 6, verse 10. "Finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord Yahweh, and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." We're going to stop right there for a minute. Let's go back up to verse 11. He say, "Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." To be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You see what I'm saying? Verse 10, he said, "Finally, my brother." Like letting you know we are at a final point in time right now in 2010. We're moving towards a dark period of time. You see what I'm saying? And the address was finally. Like, as in the end, my brethren. Be strong. In these last days, we're going to need to be strong in Yahweh's word. That's the only thing that's going to keep us strong and prayed up is Yahweh's word. You see what I'm saying? So, let's do a little bit of investigation, because that's what study is. To investigate. Let's investigate what wiles. The wiles of the devil. Let's look up this word wiles. Because we want to make sure we're going to be able to stand against these wiles of this devil. Wiles. The scripture quotes, "Put Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, that you may be able to stand against a trickery, artifice of a stragmented, meant to fool, to entice, artful, beguiling behavior, deceitful, cunning, trickery, to beguile, to entice or lure, wiles, to suspend or pass, deception, maneuver, a device. So he letting us know right there, in these last days, Satan gonna be coming with trickery. He gonna be coming with beguiling behavior. Satan gonna be coming with deceitful and cunning behavior. He gonna be coming with an enticing behavior, trying to trick you, and entice you away from what Yahweh said do. Especially in these last days, because he know we're waking up against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, meaning our physical sense. That ain't what this fight all about. But against principalities. We fighting against principalities. Well, what's principalities? What type of principalities we fighting against? We got to go to the dictionary and find out what principality means. Better yet, let's go to the concordance and look up principalities and look up the Greek word and see what that say. Which is on page 13, which would be 747 in the Greek, 746 in the Greek, which is the word archi. And that is a magistrate, a power, a principality, a rule, the beginning, the corner, the first estate, a magistrate. This word principality. What type of principalities are we fighting up against? Let's look up the definition of principality. Principality. A state ruled by a prince, usually a relative small state, or a state that falls within a larger state, such as an empire. Such as an empire. So, let's start right there on this first definition. So, it's a state ruled by a prince. What prince? What prince? The prince of darkness. That's what it's being ruled by. Them the principalities we fighting up against. The prince of darkness. It's a ruled by a prince. Usually a relative small state, or a state that falls within a larger state, such as an empire. 2. The position or authority of a prince or chief ruler. The God of this world. Satan is the God of this world. Then the principalities we fighting up against. That's just part of the principalities we fighting against. That's just to let us know who the prince of this principality. Satan and his angels. Those who that are in opposition to Yahweh and his kingdom being set up. It's a sovereignty, a supreme power, the rule of a prince of a small or subordinate state, the principality, an angel, a supermundane powers often in conflict with Yahweh. There it go right there. They in opposition, they in conflict with Yahweh. When Yahweh sent his son, Yahweh ben Yahweh, to set up his theocratic government, they were in opposition. Satan and his angels was in opposition to that. You see what I'm saying? Because Satan want to continue to rule in his empire. But my Father Yahweh said he's going to overthrow his kingdom. Permanency. authority, or territory. So we find out that we're fighting against a prince, a principality, who? The prince of darkness, Satan, Lucifer, who was cast out of heaven, him and his angels. And what they come to do, set up a democracy that's opposite of Yahweh theocracy. They're in opposition to Yahweh's sovereignty, Yahweh's government. Lucifer wants his government to be established. Okay. Now let's go to the synonym finder. Being that we're on this word principality, let's see if we can get a little more information, because this word principality, it gets deeper than just principality. We need to find out what type of principalities. So we're going to go to the Robert Roget Thesaurus synonym finder and look up some synonyms of principalities, because this is what we're fighting up against. Principality. And the first synonym we come to is angel. We fighting against a principality of an angel. That's the first synonym we come to in the synonym finder. The second one we come to is country. The third one is leadership. And there go that word predominance again. So we fighting against an angel. A principality of an angel. What angel? The angel of death. That death angel. Lucifer. The fallen angel. Let's go look up some of these synonyms. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against evil spirits. For we wrestle against demons. For we wrestle against a demon kind. For we wrestle against power of darkness. For we wrestle against the spirits of the air. For we wrestle against host of hell. For we wrestle against a hellish host. For we wrestle against hell. For we wrestle against souls in hell. For we wrestle against damned spirits. For we wrestle against lost souls. For we wrestle against the damned. For we wrestle against the devil. For we wrestle against Diablo. For we wrestle against Satan. For we wrestle against Lucifer. For we wrestle against a demon. For we wrestle against the wicked one. For we wrestle against the evil one. For we wrestle against the evil spirit. For we wrestle against the tempter. For we wrestle against the adversary. For we wrestle against an old enemy. For we wrestle against the father of evil. For we wrestle against the father of lies. For we wrestle against the serpent. For we wrestle against that old serpent. For we wrestle against the prince of the devils. For we wrestle against the deuce. For we wrestle against the angel of the bottomless pit. For we wrestle against fiends. For we wrestle against Harry Potter. For we wrestle against Baal. For we wrestle against Apollo. For we wrestle against unclean spirits. For we wrestle against a young devil, for we wrestle against a genie, for we wrestle against